Have you ever been told that goalkeepers need to be tall to succeed? Well, guess what? That's not true at all. In this video, we're going to bust the 5 biggest goalkeeping myths that might be holding you back from reaching your full potential as a goalkeeper. And stick with me to the end, because the last myth will completely change the way you think about your journey to having a successful goalkeeping career. And let's kick things off by busting one of the biggest myths in goalkeeping. Remember George Campos? This guy was incredible. Back in the 90s, Campos became a Mexican legend, known for his extremely offensive goalkeeping style and of course his flashy, colorful kits. Even though he was only 5'6" or 170 centimeters, his agility and quick reflexes impressed football fans all over the world. Campos showed that being a great goalkeeper is about much more than being tall, and he's not the only goalkeeper to prove this point. Just look at one of the biggest goalkeeping icons ever, Iker Casillas, and it's no secret that he wasn't built like a mountain either, but despite this, he's still considered to be one of the best goalkeepers ever. Sure, don't get me wrong, being tall can help in some situations, but height is not something you can control. What you can control is your dedication, your passion, your work ethic, and your focus. Skills like agility, positioning, and technique are just as important, if not more so. These abilities can easily make up for a few inches of height. There are plenty examples of successful goalkeepers who have shown that you don't need to be super tall to play at the highest level. So if you are not the tallest goalkeeper out there, don't worry, because it's not how tall you are, but how big you play. Oh, I like that one. Now that we busted the height myth, let's tackle another misconception. Have you ever heard someone say, goalies just stand around all game? And I remember when we played football as kids in the schoolyard, the chubbiest kids would always end up as goalkeepers. Back then, everyone was more concerned about scoring goals and running fast. So the unfortunate chubby kid, who thankfully ended up being me, was often stuck standing in goal. And even today, I hear that goalkeepers don't need to be fit, but that's simply not true. Sure, we do not have to run as much as wingers and fullbacks, but fitness is just as crucial for goalkeepers as it is for any other position on the field. Diving, jumping, constantly shifting positions, and having laser-sharp focus for 90 minutes straight takes a lot of physical and mental energy. So if you want to be a top goalkeeper, you have to train hard, stay active, make fitness a priority in your training, and a strong, fit body doesn't just help you make more saves, but will also reduce the risk of injury, which again will help you enjoy the game even more and ultimately become a better goalkeeper. Alright, now that we cleared up the fitness myth, let's talk about another lie that might be costing you a lot of money. And let's be honest, we've all been tempted by those flashy, high-priced gloves promising to make you into the next Manuel Neuer. But here's a secret that the big glove companies don't want you to know. The most expensive gloves are not always the best. Shocking, right? Big brands often make you overpay for their logo, fancy designs, and so-called state-of-the-art technology. They use clever marketing and spend a fortune making your favorite goalkeeper wear their brand, hoping you'll want to buy the same gloves. So before you go and empty your wallet on those fancy designs, let's talk about what really matters. First, fit and feel is important. Your gloves need to be tight enough to stay in place, but not so tight that they're uncomfortable. And second, obviously grip is very important, especially in matches, but most gloves today already have great grip thanks to high quality latex, often sourced from Pakistan or Germany. But here's another thing that you might not have considered. Using older gloves with slightly worse grip, especially in training, can actually benefit you in the long run. It forces you to focus on your catching technique, not just rely on your amazing grip. And obviously durability, you don't want your gloves to fall apart just after a few training sessions. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and buy the cheapest gloves that you can find, of course not. But take me for example, I can get any glove on the market, including the expensive ones, for free, but I still choose to wear these super affordable ones. Why? Because I like the way they feel, the grip is great, and they're durable. I've been using these for over 2 months now, every day in training, and you can barely see any wear and tear on them. And if you want to check them out, I've left a link in the description with a discount code for the first few goalkeepers to buy them. Just remember, no matter what gloves you go for, your skills are way more important than the price tag. Focus on improving your catching technique and you'll be able to perform well in any glove. Just don't fall into the trap that buying the most expensive gloves will automatically make you a better goalkeeper. That's simply just not how goalkeeping works. Alright, now that we know that pricey gloves aren't always the answer, let's tackle another big myth. And you probably heard coaches say that as a goalkeeper, your hands are your most important tool, and they are. But remember this guy? Yeah, that's David De Gea. When he first joined the Premier League, he wasn't your typical goalkeeper. He struggled a lot early on, and many doubted if he could even make it in English football. But David De Gea had something special up his sleeve, or should I say, at his feet. De Gea's style was definitely different, especially when it came to tight angles. While most keepers would dive with their hands, De Gea often stayed on his feet, ready to block the shot with his legs. Now, I'm not saying that you should totally forget about your hands. Of course not, they're still super important. There is nothing wrong with using your feet to save the ball. In the end, it doesn't matter how you keep the ball out of the net, just that you do. Find your style and stick to it. And the next time someone tells you to stop using your legs to save the ball, just point them in De Gea's direction. Alright, shifting gears from De Gea, let's tackle one of the biggest myths in goalkeeping and football in general. Let's meet Chris. Chris is a young goalkeeper who loves football more than anything, and he dreams of playing in the Premier League. He's talented, hardworking and determined, but his journey is, anything but smooth. Chris goes on his first trial at the top academy. He's very excited, he gives it his all, but he doesn't make it. Down, but not defeated, he goes to another trial, and guess what? This time he's rejected again. Obviously feeling even more down than the first time, he still doesn't give up, and on his third trial he finally gets accepted. But it's not the elite level that he had hoped for, it's a local club's youth team. But Chris trains hard every day, learns a lot and keeps getting better. As he gets a little bit older, he starts to notice that everyone grows differently. Some of the other goalkeepers are getting much taller and stronger than he is, but he just keeps working hard and developing his skills and understanding of the game at his own pace. Eventually, Chris plays at a local event filled with scouts from all over the world. He plays very well and actually gets an opportunity to play in the second division in Denmark. I mean, it's not the Premier League, but it's still professional football. And to make a long story short, he soon becomes a fan favorite, making incredible saves left, right and center, and even helps his team get promoted. The point of the story is, Chris's success wasn't in a straight line. There were plenty of bumps along the way, trial, rejections, new opportunities, and maybe you won't play in the Premier League or La Liga, maybe you'll never get accepted into a top academy, but that doesn't mean that you can't be successful. And a lot of young goalkeepers think that they need to join a big club's top academy, but that's simply not true. Success isn't just about where you end up playing, it's also about the journey, the hard work and not giving up no matter what. And the best advice that I can give you is to keep working hard, stay dedicated, have fun and start loving your unique journey. Your never quit attitude and hard work will take you far. Where? I don't know, but there are many ways to a successful goalkeeping career and pro academies are just one of them. And if you're ready to start working hard with me as your coach, mentor and friend, then check out the link in the description. You'll find an innovative self-training program with over 130 drills, all designed to help you reach your dreams as a goalkeeper faster than you could ever have imagined. Hopefully I'll see you inside the program, but if you're not quite ready yet, then dive into my next video where I show you how you can nail your positioning to make tough saves into easy ones. This is Christian signing off from Ground Glory. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in this video.